Hey guys, and welcome to My Gaming Journal, where we examine both old and new video games in the format of a daily journal. Tonight, we examine Doom Eternal and see how long it took for me to beat it. Spoiler warning for those who have not played the game. Please enjoy. Dear Journal, so this game takes place right after the events of the first game, and you are just straight in the middle of a conflict. You are killing enemies left and right. You are in charge of killing 3 high priests who are trying to basically take over the world. Billions of people have died on Earth, so things are bad, but you are the only person that can save everyone. And look, I'm not going to try and pretend I fully understand the lore of Doom. Basically, it's a bunch of demons from hell that are located in Mars that come to Earth. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but the only thing you have to realize about this franchise is that killing monsters are fun and corporations are bad, which I could have told you that without playing this game. Fun fact, my favorite glory kill, which is basically a reaction command when an enemy is about to die, are the enemies that you just bop them on the head. I just find that to be incredibly humorous. This game does not follow Metroid rules where, oh my gosh, you don't have all your weapons right away. You have to play the whole game to get them. And while that is the case to a certain degree, you get your weapons pretty quickly in this game, which I like. What I found a bit difficult in this game, and to a degree it's just like the first game, you find yourself to be surrounded by enemies almost always. Every time an enemy shows up, expect horde of monsters and zombies to surround you, and you have only seconds to make a split-second decision. Try and find the appropriate ways to kill these enemies. You're basically the Incredible Hulk, and you're just trying to smash your way through as quickly and efficiently as possible. Speaking of the Hulk, also, one difference about this game compared to the 2016 game is that there are cutscenes now, and you can actually kinda sorta see Doom Guy's head. You see in the opening of the game, you see the back of his head, and then throughout the rest of the game, when there are cutscenes, you can see his eyes. But that's about it. But we'll get into more about Doom Guy in just a little bit. As far as the graphics go, I really enjoyed the look of the world, the look of the enemies, and Doom Guy's look in the cutscenes look great. My only complaint on that department is there are moments when you run into scientists and human workers, and I kid you not, those graphics look like PlayStation 3 graphics, which when we're on the cusp of PlayStation 5, that's a no-no in my opinion. Another thing the game does incredibly well though are the moments where you feel like you're in a big spectacle type of movie, and just the sheer amount of ridiculousness that goes into these games, like literally being shot out of a cannon to go into the core of Mars is a scene in this game. But I will say sometimes there are moments where it feels like they cut corners. And a great example would be there's a moment where you have to go into a building and there are some weird tentacle things concealing the entrance, and you have to operate a turret on each side to destroy the tentacles. That should have been a moment in the game where you're actually shooting the turret and holding the trigger button, and instead it's just a cutscene. And that, I wish that was the only case that happened, but there are quite a few scenes where I feel like they just kind of cut corners on that end. And as far as the story goes, killed the 2 priests, took a while, but there's only one left, and then now we are getting into the second half of the game. So, fun fact, Doom Guy has a voice. There are not a lot of cutscenes involving his voice, but there is one particular scene where you actually hear him speak. And it's not quite caveman, but it's kind of parallel to it. You know, all he says is basically he wants to kill his enemies and he's angry all the time. Again, the Incredible Hulk. But other than that, you don't hear him talk in the game. And after a while, finally get to the final priest and defeat him. I would argue my biggest criticism of this game is I found myself in several situations not knowing where to go. Like, even though there's a button you can press that points you in the right direction, sometimes that wouldn't really help. It wouldn't really tell you where you need to go. And I found myself plenty of times throughout the game spending 5 or 10 minutes just wondering, where do I go? After you defeat the 3 priests, you have to grab the Crucible Sword, aka the Deus Ex Machina, that will help you defeat the big bad in this game. And you find her, the Grand Leader, Khan Maker, and she wants to try and unleash a Titan that would basically destroy the world. And you find her and you kill her, but not before the Titan's released. And now you go back to Earth for the final part of the game, and you fight unlimited amount of enemies, and you defeat the final boss of the game by literally blowing off his skin to where he's just basically a science project of just muscle and bone. After that, cut to credits, we're done. Overall, I thought the game was super fun, and if you liked the original 2016 game, you will definitely appreciate this, especially since some of the lore is expanded and there's some really creative, unique level designs. However, if you're not a fan of the first game, you're probably not going to like this one either. And again, I wish it was a bit clearer in the game as far as where you needed to go to reach the next level. That being said, we're going to give this game an 80%. Now tune in next time where we examine Miles Morales for the PlayStation 5. See you then.